Joy. I am recently married, 3 months now. Congrats. My husband is very clean, and I'm used to living a neat lifestyle, but I've kind of chilled out a little bit. And I've realized that compared to my husband, I'm actually lazy. What can I do? I mean, I don't want him to feel like he got cheated by marrying me. Well, here's the thing. You're a little too hard on yourself. You know, what can you do? Well, you can pick up the vacuum that I obviously haven't used in a while either. You know, you didn't say that your husband had said anything to you, so it feels like maybe he's just, you know, allowing you to be you. But if you feel like you're really lazy, I mean, maybe this is the kind of opportunity where you set the ground rules for you and your husband being able to speak into each other's life, which is actually a really great precedent to start, where you go, you know what, honey, I really respect the fact that you are just so disciplined in this, and this area. Like, I want to learn from you, you know? That would totally honor him. Now, there are personalities. There's some people who just aren't as driven. But I think if you guys are honest about these things and talk about them, you don't want to get to a place where he doesn't say anything, he doesn't say anything, he doesn't say anything, and then he resents you for not being more like him. This is a beautiful time in the beginning of your marriage to stop and go, what are your strengths? What are my strengths? And it's not to like keep score of who's better than who at what. It's to actually divvy up house things. 'Cause you're both, I mean, I don't know if you're both working or if one of you is, but have these conversations now. It may not mean that you're lazy. He might just be more attentive to, you know, wiping down the counters, and then maybe that can be his shtick. But if you create the space right now to speak into each other's lives, if you're like, you know, honey, I really want to learn from you in this area, then hopefully that will allow him to create the space to want to learn from you in different areas. More than anything, I just want to reiterate, like, instead of sitting around and like beating yourself up about what you aren't, like, either talk with your husband and honor him for his strengths and ask to learn from him, or find some other women in your life who, you know, and talk about, you know, I don't want to be lazy, and maybe you guys you have a more in-depth conversation than this one-sided video. But I really want to encourage you that you are like at this great spot, you're newly married, and you guys can start having these conversations now about like, how can we have a win-win in our relationship where we really honor each other for our strengths, we give grace for our weaknesses, but we figure out what's a good game plan so we're both in the know of whose expectation is to do what. Because you might be really good at banking and he might not be. And he may be really good at scrubbing down the counters with 409 like a madman because that's what he's more passionate about. And if you have those conversations, then you can figure it out. Don't have it be a guessing game. This is your husband. You should feel comfortable enough to talk with him about this kind of thing. So I just want to honor you for trying to be the best wife you can. But instead of spending all this time on the internet writing me, beating yourself up, just, you know, get up and vacuum for a little bit. Give it a try. Which I, you know, speaking to the choir right now, am I right? I'm going to take a nap.
On the next Ask Joy, Joy proves what you suspected all along. She's a terrible driver.
This is actually the worst intersection in all of Portland because it's at an angle and you can't see. Thank you, total eclipse of the shikes. I think that total eclipse of the heart was trying to get me to have a collision. There's another, this is when we stop. This is when we say, you know what, let's have safety over Ask Joy videos. And then that's when I say, no, we have got to talk to the people.